Grace and peace, everyone, and welcome to Evolving with Brooke. I'm your virtual big sister, and this is a space for real talk, real faith, and real encouragement as we grow into the women that God has created us to be. So don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to comment, because I'd love to hear from you and know what your story is. So without further ado, let's dive on in and let's evolve together. If you're new here, I am Brooke, and I am super glad that you are joining me today. My channel, again, is all about empowering women and building faith. And in today's video, it especially is close to my heart because we'll be talking about finding faith in uncertain times and just trusting God's plan. So let's just start out being real. Life does not always go the way that we expected. And sometimes it feels like we're walking through a fog of uncertainty, child. And so I'm just here to kind of share some encouragement and some guidance on how we can hold on to faith and just trust God's plan, even when everything around us just seems shaky. So let me ask you a question. What are uncertain times? When I say uncertain times, I think that we all have something that just comes to mind straight up. Maybe it's like personal, it's a health issue, it's a job loss, it's like a big decision that has just no answer at all. And maybe it's just the world around us where things just feel unstable and just overwhelming. But if you're going through something right now, I want you to know that you're not alone. And that we are all have either experienced something or have experienced a moment where we felt unsure or just felt a tad bit fearful because we just don't know. But here's the good news, though. God is with us in these moments, and He wants us to lean on Him for strength and for clarity. So why is faith so important, especially in times of uncertainty? Faith is the foundation that just keeps us grounded all together. According to Hebrews 11:1, it tells us that now faith is a confidence in what we hope for and the assurance about what we do not see. So faith is choosing to believe in God's goodness and His sovereignty, even when we do not see the full picture. And honestly, I've been through some seasons in my life where things just seemed to be just out of control, and it just seemed like they weren't not getting better. And I felt like everything was just falling apart. And in those moments, my faith was the only thing that just kept me going. And I'd just love to know if there's anybody out there that can relate, or they felt that same tug in their heart to just trust, even when things just did not make sense at all, because I know we've all been there. So let's talk about trusting God's plan. It's one thing to say that we trust God, right? But it's another to truly let go and believe that His plan is better than ours, right? So trusting God means surrendering control and allowing Him to lead, even when we don't understand the path that He's taking us on. Proverbs 3:5-6 is a beautiful reminder to me, because it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, and in all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. So trusting God's plan means releasing our own to figure out everything and believing that His wisdom far outweighs ours, right? Okay. So we know why it's important to have faith and to trust in God, but how do we actually build that faith, especially during tough times? Daily prayer. I mean, this one is just a game changer. I think that everybody just needs to practice it and continue to do it. Everybody should pray. Set aside some time in the day to just openly talk to God. Just pour out your heart and your worries, even those doubts that you may have, because prayer honestly is the thing that's just going to deepen your relationship with God. Number 2 is reading those scriptures, reading the Word of God. The Bible is full of promises, and it's full of reminders that God is faithful. And I recommend starting with verses that speak to trusting in God, like Psalms 46:10, be still and know that I am God, because that's something that's just important. Then there's 3, journaling. Sometimes just writing down your thoughts and your prayers can just bring clarity and peace overall. So try journaling and writing out your prayers, reflecting on moments of gratitude. And then there's point 4, your community. Don't forget to surround yourself with believers that can encourage you and just support you. Sometimes you just need strength and just a perspective of others to help you keep going. And this community right here is a starting point. So, when I think of examples of faith, I can't help but think of stories from the Bible, right? For example, think about Joseph, who was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and then falsely accused and imprisoned, right? But Joseph never lost his faith, and God ultimately used his struggles to position him in a place of power and influence. Joseph's story reminds me that even the hardest trials can be a part of God's bigger picture. And then there's Job, who lost everything. He held on to his faith, and in ways that we could not even imagine. I mean, these stories just remind us that faith isn't about everything that's going right. It's about trusting God even when things just seem to go wrong, right? And if you're going through something difficult right now, I just want to encourage you. I know that it is not easy, but please remember that you're not alone. I'm here. Our community is here. God sees you. He loves you, and he has a plan for your life that's bigger than what you can even imagine. Sometimes he's working behind the scenes in ways that, like I said, we can't see and we can't understand. But our job is not to see, but to trust, even when we see those things that just don't make any sense. So I encourage you to hold on, keep seeking him, and allow your faith to grow through this season. Trust that God is using these challenges to shape and strengthen you for a greater purpose. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and listening. If this message encouraged you, please subscribe to Evolving with Brooke for more content like this. I'd love to also hear more from you guys in the comments. Just let me know if there's anything that you're trusting God for, or if you have any prayer requests. I'm looking to pray for somebody. If there's something that you need God for, I'm believing God for you. So let's support each other in faith. And if you know of anyone who might need to hear this message, go ahead and share this video with them. Remember, God is with you, and he's got a beautiful plan for your life. So stay strong, stay faithful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.